Welcome back to Not Your Mom's Cooking Show, and today we're gonna do a deep dive into tater tots. You know, tater tots are cool, I love them, but they're kind of boring sometimes. And a few days ago I was out in Las Vegas for work, and I thought, man, I'm hungry, so I went out to go get something to eat. And I found this place and they had tots on the menu. I'm like, sweet, I love tater tots. And they had the option to get them loaded. I'm like, loaded tater tots sounds delicious. You know, you get cheese, you get bacon, you get sour cream, you get all this stuff on them. And I'm like, sweet, that's what I'm getting. Got them back to my hotel room and they looked like this. Very depressing. I was so disappointed. Pulled one out and the cheese had melted and formed them all into one big block, and it was just not good. So I thought it'd be a good idea to make my own version of loaded tater tots. Now for this recipe, I'm so glad that I have so many videos in my library, because we're gonna revisit some of the things that we've done before. First of all, I'm gonna revisit the pulled pork that I made. Second of all, I wanna make a cheese sauce. Now way back in the beginning of this channel, me and Sarah did a video on mac and cheese where she made this cheese sauce with goat cheese and cheddar cheese. I'm gonna revisit that. So I'm gonna make Sarah's cheese sauce. I'm gonna put that on the tots, top that up with the pulled pork that I make, and then I'm gonna throw some bacon on there and some sour cream, some ranch, and it's gonna be great. Are you ready? Let's get started. Start things off, we're gonna need tater tots. These are gonna take a while to cook. Just gonna go ahead and throw them in the oven right now. Now it's time to make the cheese sauce. I'm gonna start it off by chopping up our onion. Three tablespoons of butter. Now that the butter is melted, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of ground mustard. Now we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of flour. This is to create the roux for the cheese sauce. Now, the trick with the roux is the thicker the roux, the thicker the sauce. I'm gonna add 2 cups of milk. I'm gonna do it in stages. I want to break up any lumps that we would have in the flour. Then we're going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. About a minute to cook in there. I'm going to start chopping up my goat cheese. Now I'm going to add the onion. Half a teaspoon of paprika. I'm going to give it that spice. 1 bay leaf. Let that cook for about 10 minutes. And after that, we're gonna add all the other stuff. So while that's happening, I'm gonna prepare my egg. I don't quite have the egg cracking skills that I once did. So I think what Sarah called it is tempering. You wanna temper it, prepare it. I'm gonna remove this bay leaf. So now I'm gonna start cooking the bacon that we need. We're gonna use about 3 slices of bacon. Here I have a pound of cheddar. I'm gonna use probably about 90% of it, throw it in here right now. I'm gonna save a little bit so I have something to top off the tots with when we're all done. Go ahead and start adding the goat cheese. It's probably a lot more cheese sauce than I need. I'm just going off the recipe that we used for that particular video. So my bad. Go ahead and start mixing in the cheese. Should melt fairly quickly. Sarah, your cheese sauce is bomb. All sorts of good smells happening right here. Now I'm gonna add the egg that we tempered. Don't forget to add your salt and your pepper. I got here a teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of pepper. Now mix all of that in there. All right, so our tots are done, they're cooked. I'm gonna start seasoning them. For this, I'm gonna use my pepper, about a tablespoon, and I mixed in probably about half a teaspoon of seasoned salt in with this pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in here. Toss it around. Place our tots on a plate over here. Chop up the bacon. Tots already look bomb, but let us add some of this amazing cheese sauce. Throw some bacon on top of that. That looks so good already. And then we're gonna revisit our shredded pork. Look at that. Oh my God, that pork looks so good. I have some of my personal reserve barbecue sauce. Also, if you want the recipe for this sauce, you can check out the video where I made pulled pork. Full recipe is there. Throw a drizzle of sauce on here. So on top of that, we're gonna take a drizzle of ranch. Now we're gonna put some of our shredded cheese on top of that. Top it off with some more bacon. Sprinkle some green onion on that for some color. And this, my friend, is what we call loaded tots. Tots look amazing. I can't even begin to comprehend how well these are gonna taste. Real quick, I wanna talk about the pork because I didn't do any of that on camera and I almost regret not doing it on camera. And like I said, I made a video a while back on how to make pulled pork with barbecue sauce and buns. Right after I made that video, I came across somebody on Facebook. His name was Trystan, I hope I said that right, Petrash. He specializes in Korean food. And he did a video on how to make pork, and he just gave me ideas that blew my mind. What Trystan did that really got me going is he roasted it for about an hour in the grill, and then he wrapped it in tin foil and roasted it some more in the tin foil. So that's what I did. So I roasted it in the oven for an hour, and after that hour I put it in tin foil and I turned my temperature down to about 200. And then I let it sit in there for about, I want to say like 3 more hours after that. And once the temperature of the pork was about, I think it was close to 200, I pulled it out and the pork just fell apart. And because it was wrapped in that foil, it was nice and juicy. None of the juices had evaporated because it all fell to the bottom of the foil. So this is amazing. I tasted the pork already. I already know it's good. We got the cheese sauce, we got the ranch, we got the bacon, onions, the pork. This is gonna be a bite of heaven in my mouth. I'm trying to get a little bit of everything in here. Almost don't need the tots. Everything else is so good. You got the sharpness of the cheddar, but then you've got the goat cheese cut in there as well. It's very creamy. This is what loaded tater tots should look like, not this. This is sad. This makes me happy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more like it, why don't you try hitting that subscribe button. I put out videos every 2 weeks or so. If you have any suggestions on something I should try to make in the future, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. If you try to make these recipes, also let me know how it turns out in the comments down below. But with that being said, I'm going to chow down now on my loaded tater tots. I will catch you next time.